Chosen one, your wait is over. Everything you have been silently enduring, every delay that tested your patience, every closed door that made you question your path, it was never denial. It was divine preparation. This moment is not random. It has been orchestrated with precision, aligning every unseen force in your favor. You may not have understood the timing, but now you are about to witness the reason behind it all. The shift begins now, not tomorrow, not someday now. What once felt stuck is about to move. What felt lost is about to return. You are stepping into a season where everything finally starts making sense. Chosen one, the delay you experienced was not punishment, it was positioning. While you were waiting, life was quietly reorganizing itself around your destiny in ways you could not yet perceive. Every pause you questioned, every moment you felt forgotten, every situation that seemed stuck was actually part of a larger alignment process that was working beyond your awareness. What felt like silence was not emptiness, it was preparation. People who were not aligned with your journey began to drift away, not by coincidence but by design, because the path ahead requires only what is meant to sustain your next level. Situations that once kept you comfortable began to feel uncomfortable because you were being moved out of what no longer matched your growth. Even the things you prayed to work out but didn't were being redirected, not because they were denied, but because they were not strong enough to carry the version of you that is emerging. You were being shielded from outcomes that would have limited your expansion, even if at the time they appeared desirable. In the unseen, adjustments were being made to your environment, your connections, and even your internal conditioning, so that when movement finally begins, it would not collapse under old limitations or outdated thinking patterns. What you didn't realize is that during the waiting season, you're also being strengthened in ways that cannot be measured by external progress. Your patience was being refined, your emotional endurance was being built, and your discernment was becoming sharper without you even noticing. The discomfort you felt was not a sign of failure, but a sign of transformation taking place beneath the surface. You were learning how to stand without validation, how to keep moving without immediate reward, and how to trust without visible proof. That inner restructuring was necessary because the next phase requires stability that cannot be shaken by delay or distraction. Even the moments where you felt like giving up were part of the conditioning, because they revealed to you what truly matters and what must no longer control you. The universe was not withholding your progress. It was removing dependency from your spirit, so that when doors open, you walk through them with clarity rather than confusion, with certainty rather than hesitation. Every delay was quietly separating your identity from the illusions you once attached yourself to, and as that separation deepened, something within you began to realign with a version of life that does not operate through struggle but through flow, not through resistance but through recognition. And even now, as this shift begins to surface in visible ways, you are only just starting to notice how deeply the unseen work has already rewritten the direction of everything around you, chosen one. And because of that unseen restructuring, you are now stepping into a phase where clarity replaces confusion in a way that feels almost sudden, but it is not sudden at all. It is the result of everything that was quietly being aligned beneath the surface. The mental fog that once made you second-guess your direction is beginning to dissolve, and in its place, a steady sense of understanding is forming. You are no longer trying to force meaning out of chaos, because what once felt chaotic is now starting to reveal its purpose. Situations that used to confuse you are beginning to speak for themselves, not through explanation, but through realization. You are starting to see patterns you previously missed, connections you could not understand before, and timing that now makes sense in a deeper, more grounded way. This clarity is not just about external decisions, it is also about how you perceive yourself. The version of you that once depended heavily on reassurance is fading, and a more aware, self-trusting version is emerging. You are beginning to notice that your reactions are different, your thoughts are more centered, and your emotional responses are less reactive and more observant. What once overwhelmed your mind now feels manageable because your perspective has shifted upward. You are no longer viewing life from the level of confusion, you are beginning to observe it from the level of understanding. Even when uncertainty appears, it no longer dominates your inner state. The way it used to, because something within you has learned how to stay grounded regardless of external noise. In this stage, decisions that once felt heavy are becoming lighter, not because the choices themselves changed, but because you have changed. You are no longer approaching life from fear of making the wrong move. Instead, you are beginning to recognize what aligns and what doesn't without overthinking every possibility. The hesitation that used to delay your steps is weakening, replaced by a quiet confidence that doesn't need constant validation. You are learning to trust what feels right without needing excessive proof, and that is a sign that your awareness is rising beyond old limitations. As this clarity deepens, you will notice that even your intuition becomes sharper, more immediate, more direct. You won't need long explanations to understand what is meant for you and what is not. You will simply know, and that knowing will feel natural, not forced. This is because your internal alignment is synchronizing with the external shift that has already begun. What was once scattered is now organizing itself within you, and as that inner structure stabilizes, the outer world begins to respond in ways that reflect your new level of certainty, your new level of perception, and your new ability to move without confusion controlling your direction, chosen one. And as that clarity continues to deepen within you, the next stage of this shift reveals itself in how effortlessly what is meant for you begins to recognize you without struggle, without chasing, without forcing outcomes that once drained your energy. You are entering a reality where resistance is no longer your default setting, because what is aligned with your path starts moving toward you with a sense of natural attraction. The doors that once remained closed are not being broken open by effort. They are beginning to open through timing, through readiness, through alignment that has been quietly building within you long before you became aware of it. This is the phase where you begin to understand that your role was never to fight endlessly for what belongs to you, but to evolve into the version of yourself that can receive it without distortion. The struggle you once associated with progress is being replaced by a deeper understanding that true progress does not always feel like pressure. Sometimes it feels like recognition, like things falling into place without chaos attached to them. You are no longer moving from a place of proving your worth, because what is destined for you does not require you to prove anything. It responds to your presence, your readiness, and your alignment. You will notice that opportunities begin to surface in ways that feel less forced and more timely, as if they were waiting for you to become the right frequency to access them. People who are meant to support your journey will not need convincing. They will recognize your value without hesitation. Conversations that once led nowhere will now lead to openings you did not anticipate. Even delays that once frustrated you are now revealing their purpose, because they ensured you would arrive at the right moment, not earlier, not later, but precisely when your energy could sustain what is being offered to you. In this stage, your emotional relationship with outcomes begins to shift as well. You are no longer attaching your entire sense of direction to whether something arrives, immediately or not, because you are beginning to trust the timing that has been unfolding beyond your control. This trust is not passive, it is rooted in experience, in reflection, in the realization that what was truly meant for you has never been lost, only delayed for alignment. As this recognition grows stronger, your entire approach to life starts changing. You stop forcing conversations, you stop over-explaining your worth, you stop chasing clarity from places that were never designed to it. Instead, you begin to observe how life responds differently when you are no longer operating from urgency. The shift is becoming visible not just in what you receive, but in how you carry yourself while waiting, while moving, while existing in a state where you already know that alignment is doing the work you once tried to do through effort alone, chosen one. And as this recognition of effortless alignment becomes more active in your reality, the next layer of this shift brings something deeper: release. Not everything that once felt essential to your life will continue forward with you. And this is where the transformation begins to feel real, tangible, and sometimes emotionally intense. You may notice certain connections weakening, not because you failed them, but because they have completed their role in your evolution. Situations that once felt stable may begin to lose their grip, and paths you thought were permanent may start to redirect without warning. This is not collapse, it is correction. It is life reorganizing itself around the version of you that is no longer who you used to be. In this phase, What leaves your life is not random. It is precise. It is selective. It is aligned with your next level, not your previous comfort. The shift does not negotiate with attachment, because attachment is often tied to identity versions that can no longer support your growth. So what feels like distance or separation is actually refinement. You are being separated from everything that cannot hold your expanding awareness. Even if it feels confusing at first, there is an intelligence behind what is being removed, ensuring that your path remains clear enough for what is truly meant to enter without interference. This is where emotional resistance can appear, because the human part of you may try to hold on to what is familiar, even if it is no longer aligned. But deeper within you, there is another awareness beginning to strengthen the part of you that understands growth always requires space, and space is created through release. You are learning that not every ending is a loss. Some endings are simply transitions into a higher version of your journey, where old structures cannot exist anymore. You will also start to realize that the discomfort of letting go is temporary, but the expansion that follows is lasting. What replaces what leaves is not always immediate, but it is always more aligned. And in that waiting between release and placement, you are being refined internally. Your emotional dependency on certain outcomes begins to weaken, and your trust in the unfolding process becomes stronger, even without full understanding of how everything will connect later. As this continues, you begin to feel lighter in ways you cannot fully explain. Your thoughts become less entangled in what was and more open to what is forming. The energy you once used to hold on to what was leaving is now redirected toward what is arriving. Now, and slowly, without force, you start to notice that what remains in your life feels more intentional, more stable, more reflective of the person you are becoming rather than the person you used to be when everything first began to shift underneath you, chosen one. And as this process of release continues shaping your path, the next dimension of this shift reveals something even more powerful. Your energy is becoming magnetic in a way that is no longer dependent on effort, approval, or external validation. What you are now stepping into is a state where your presence begins to speak before you do, where your alignment begins to attract what is meant for you without you having to pursue it endlessly. This is not about trying harder anymore, it is about becoming fully present in who you are meant to be, and allowing life to respond accordingly. You will start noticing that your environment reacts differently to you. Opportunities that once felt distant begin to appear closer, not because they suddenly exist, but because your awareness has shifted to a frequency where you can now recognize them. People who once overlooked you may begin to notice your presence without explanation. Situations that previously required constant effort begin to unfold with less resistance, as if something within your energy field is no longer allowing misalignment to stay attached. This is not coincidence, this is energetic recalibration taking form in your reality, the most profound change happening. Here is that you are no longer operating from desperation or urgency. That energy is dissolving, and in its place, a quiet confidence is growing, one that does not need to announce itself loudly, but is deeply felt in how you move, how you speak, and how you carry your decisions. You are beginning to understand that attraction is not about chasing what you want, but about becoming someone who naturally aligns with what is meant for them. And as this understanding settles, your entire approach to life starts shifting without force. You are also beginning to detach from outcomes that once controlled your emotional state. This detachment is not indifference, it is clarity. You still care, you still desire, but you are no longer dependent on immediate results to feel secure in your direction. This emotional independence strengthens your energetic field, making it more stable, more grounded, and more aligned with long-term expansion rather than short-term validation. As this magnetism increases, you may notice that timing becomes more precise in your life. Things arrive when you are ready to receive them, not when you are anxious for them. The right people, the right opportunities, and the right circumstances begin to enter your space in a way that feels synchronized rather than random. And even when delays appear, they no longer destabilize you the way they once did, because you are starting to sense that everything is responding to an internal rhythm you are now becoming aware of. This is where your energy stops leaking outward and begins circulating inward, strengthening your foundation. You are no longer scattered across too many directions, too many doubts, too many external expectations. Instead, you are becoming centered, focused, and quietly powerful in a way that does not need to be explained. Only experienced as your reality begins to reflect it back to you through the unfolding of events that are naturally drawn toward your presence, chosen one. And as this magnetic shift stabilizes within you, the final layer of this unfolding brings you into the most important realization of all. The shift does not complete around you until it first completes within you. Everything you have experienced up to this point, every delay, every release, every moment of confusion turning into clarity, every alignment that began forming silently in the background, was leading you here to a state where belief is no longer fragile but anchored. This is where your internal world becomes the foundation for everything external that follows. You begin to understand that nothing in your life has been random and nothing has been wasted. Even the moments that felt like setbacks were quietly shaping your endurance, your perception, and your emotional strength in ways that could not be taught through comfort. You are no longer the same person who waited in uncertainty. You are now someone who has been transformed by the waiting itself. And because of that transformation, your relationship with timing has fundamentally changed. You no longer see delays as rejection, but as refinement, preparing you for stability you could not have handled before. In this stage, the most powerful shift happens in your mindset. You stop negotiating with doubt. You stop entertaining thoughts that weaken your direction. You stop allowing external circumstances to define your internal certainty. Instead, you begin to operate from a deeper knowing, a quiet inner conviction that does not require constant proof to remain steady. This knowing becomes your anchor, and from that anchor, everything else begins to reorganize itself around you. You are also beginning to see that what you once called uncertainty was actually transition. What you once called confusion was actually recalibration. And what you once called waiting was actually preparation for alignment that required you to become someone different before it could fully manifest. That understanding alone changes how you move through life, because now you are no longer reacting to every delay. You are recognizing the process behind it. As this final layer unfolds, you will notice that your expectations begin to simplify. You are no longer trying to force life into a specific timeline or structure. Instead, you are allowing it to reveal itself step by step, trusting that what is meant for you will not miss you, and what is not meant for you will not remain attached, no matter how much effort is applied. This acceptance does not make you passive, it makes you aligned. And in this alignment, your energy becomes steady, not reactive. Your focus becomes clear, not scattered. Your decisions become intentional, not emotional. You are no longer living in anticipation of the shift, you are living as the shift. And in that state, everything begins to respond differently, because you are no longer waiting for life to change around you, you have already changed within it.